Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another journey guide video. So in this one I'll be heading over to the Starforge for the Showdown versus Malak epic confrontation event, and I'll be doing the light path. I'm not quite ready yet for the dark path, so that will be a separate video. Now this event is kind of challenging, I guess, depends on how highly geared your guys are. Definitely if you got relics, this should be probably a bit easier because you will have more damage. But I was able to knock this out with gear 12. So in this one I'll go over the mechanics of the event and the overall strategy I used to get this done, and then hopefully you can replicate that. It did take me about 4 or 5 attempts to line it up. Okay, so let's first review the requirements. We need 7-star units and we need at least 17.5k GP on the units. Probably T3 least useful here units, so you'll want these guys. I would say gear 12 is kind of reasonable gear. Maybe you can get it done with less, but it's going to be even tougher. If you got relics, obviously it's going to be easier. So definitely I would shoot for like gear 12 when you attempt this. And we go. So the battle details, as mentioned before, we covered the requirements already, the recommendation, yep, and we've got some strategy tips. Darth Malak will ruthlessly drain the Jedi in the stasis field, so we'll cover more about it later. Then we will also be destroying the stasis field, the soul droids, just to keep Malak under control a little bit. Now this is a bit of a funny one. Malak can periodically call in new droids, allowing you to manage Malak's hatred. Well, periodically, and there is no really pattern to it. At least I didn't figure out. Sometimes you destroy the droids, he brings them straight back up, and then the other times just like 2-3 turns and he doesn't bring back at all. So it's definitely you know, some RNG as well because of this summoning. There is like no ability that he has in his description to really describe how he's summoning them. Okay, let's now go through before we go into the battle and the mods and everything. Let's first quickly talk about the stasis fields. Okay, so as you can see, we got 4 stasis fields here in the battle. So what you will want to do is let Malak drain the critical damage immunity 1 and the tenacity up 1, because then you will not be able to critically hit him. You won't be able to land debuffs including damage over times on him, which means you will then stop him from feeding your guys, so you can actually take him out in the end. However, these two on the left, the critical damage up, as well as an additional an additional dark infusion, these two you will want to destroy so Malak does not consume them and boosts himself even further. So that's what we'll be doing, and Malak will always be draining the stasis field with the lowest health. So you just want to make sure at the beginning of the battle you hit this one a couple of times so it's lowest health, and then when Malak drains this one, then you will keep hitting the put a couple of hits on the tenacity up 1, and then as well Malak will drain that one, and then the other 2 you have to make sure you take them out before Malak drains them. Now how Malak gets to his drain: when you get him below 50% health, he will again life drain ability, and then he will be able to drain these guys and boost himself up. Now if you've seen, all the abilities here from Malak are pretty standard Malak abilities. So this one will dispel, can also land shock, and obviously if he lands the shock he will also get a taunt up on him. And then also if Revan has 3 or more stacks of Malak's hatred, then Malak will gain taunt, defense up, and critical hit immunity for 2 turns. Let's move on to the next ability. The basic: deal physical damage and inflict tenacity down, and then when attacking Revan, this will deal 20% more damage for each stacks of Malak's hatred on Revan. So you can see these abilities will have a bigger impact on Revan if Revan does have hatred. That's why you will want to avoid hitting Malak with Revan to begin with, just so that you know you don't boost Malak's ability too much. Then we got menacing foe. So Malak, so this is not the Malak that you and I will have, because in this one Malak will be immune to ability block. So unfortunately Basti won't be able to ability block him. No death mark, no fear, no shock, no stagger, and no stun. Essentially you can't do anything to this guy pretty much. And then every time Malak is attacked by Revan, Revan will gain a stack of Malak's hatred. You don't really want to hit Malak with Revan. You can try to avoid it at all costs to begin with. And then Malak will gain 1 stack of Dark Rage whenever he begins a turn. If he defeats an enemy with Drain Life, he will gain 5 stacks even, and then when he reaches 30 stacks of Dark Rage, he will become Enraged. Now, the way you counter that is whenever you defeat the droids, he will lose 3 stacks, and whenever you defeat one of the stasis field as well, he will lose 3 stacks. That's what you will keep killing droids over and over again while we are kind of sticking the armor shreds on him. Okay, let's move on to the next ability, the Dark Transfer. So whenever Malak drops below 50% health, he instantly destroys the stasis field with the lowest health. That's what I mentioned in the beginning. You will want to keep the tenacity as well as crit immunity one to be the lowest health than the other one on the left. Then Malak gains buff based on which stasis field he destroyed, which obviously I covered already. And then Dark Infusion, we know what it does. He gains extra offense, and he actually can gain 5 stacks, whereas obviously the Malak that we will unlock can only gain up to 3 stacks. So then he will get lots of bonuses, and as well will be landing healing immunity. This is not something you can prevent. Eventually he will gain to 5 stacks. I just wanted to point out that he will stop at 5, he will not go above. And Jaws of Life, Malak takes reduced damage from percent health damage, which we already know. He also gains protection and gains Dechmat health. He has extra boosts to his survivability. And then also every time Malak drops below 50% health, the Drain Life ability will be reset, and then he will keep obviously draining your guys and healing himself up. I will talk that more about obviously once I get to the battle, how to deal with that ability. And finally, Knowing Terror, Malak taunts for 1 turn whenever an enemy is inflicted with shock or fear, and at the end of each turn, enemies who inflicted damage over time or critically hit him, they will be inflicted with fear. And that's the reason why I want Malak to drain these 2, so you cannot critically hit him, you cannot land damage over times, so he won't be fearing you at all. In terms of the droids, we don't have description of their ability. They just can do some basic attacks. I think they can heal up a little bit as well, but they're really there mainly so you can keep the stacks of Dark Rage under control. Okay, I know that was quite a lot of the mechanics, but you know, it's pretty straightforward. You will see once you get to the battle. I just wanted to go through everything. But just to summarize, you want to get these 2 guys, these 2 stasis fields to be lowest health than the other guys. Keep hitting droids, keep hitting then with the AoE on Zalbar whenever you can on Malak to stack armor shreds. Let Malak drain these 2 stasis fields, and then when you're just down to the stasis field on the left side, this is the 2 you want to destroy before Malak gets below 50% health. And hopefully you can then go ahead and finish him off in the final showdown. Okay, so let me show you the team that I have, the abilities, how are used, and the mods as well. So the way I modded these guys is kind of focusing a little bit maybe on offense, because Malak is so fast anyway. You know, being faster than him is going to be challenging, especially if you have a limited mod selection as I have in this kind of mid-game account. So my Revan here is a gear 12. I do have some speed on him, 257. But as you can see, I tried to bump his offense up as much as I could, meaning both triangle as well as cross, they both have offense, whereas arrow is speed. And then for your circles, always go for protection, do not go for health, because when Malak does his drain, he will heal up the amount of the target's health. So the lower health you have, the less Malak will be healing up with his drain. Now in terms of Revan, obviously he does a lot of things. Mostly his direct focus is good because you can ignore the taunt, mark one of the droids if you want to get him down, and also will be increasing the cooldowns on Malak, which will be important once you get to the final showdown when all the stasis fields are down. From his leadership, you also get a strategic advantage ability, which you can call a Jedi ally to assist, and then as well pass strategic advantage onto them. So I'll be passing this constantly between Revan and Julie, so then Julie can keep reducing his cooldowns. Mission, I just modded her again for offense and speed as much as I could. Let me show you her stats. So we got offense set, we got triangle offense, we've got here cross offense, arrow speed, and then same as Revan, protection here, not health. You don't want your guys to have high health pools. Mission, you will need Zeta on her here, because whenever Zalbar attacks, then a Mission will be assisting, and Mission will be then kind of your damage dealer. So definitely I feel like this Zeta is absolutely required for this event that you can complete it. Then we got Julie, modded him here, same for, I know it's funny seeing Julie modded for offense, but if you mod him for health, what'll happen if Malak drains him, Malak will heal up more, and every little bit extra offense help, even though at gear 12 Julie does not hit very hard. But let me just show you again. Got offense set on him, offense cross, offense triangle, again protection, and then speed on the arrow. Now Julie, as you can see, his basic, whenever he deals damage with his basic, he will be reducing his cooldowns. That's why I keep using strategic advantage between Julie and Revan, so then Julie can keep using his 2 special abilities. This one calls an assist on Zalbar, so Zalbar then goes, mission assist, and then also will be getting as well some health recovery. And then that looks pretty bad. We got a dispel, again a heal, obviously we'll be reviving Jedi. But I keep using both of these special on Zalbar, also because from the unique here, so whenever Julie has an ability that targets an ally, because both of those special attacks they do, that ally also gains protection up, so you can keep then giving some protection up buff as well to Zalbar, just so he can survive longer, because he'll be taunting a lot. Then we got Zalbar here. I just modded him for tenacity, and that hopefully he can resist the debuffs there from Malak, because you don't want your Zalbar to get shocked, because then obviously you can't give him protection up and things like that. That's why I modded him for tenacity here. So we go, very high tenacity. Let me show the other mods. So we got protection here. Zalbar needs to have high protection. Also added tenacity there and protection there. I guess you could go with protection cross also here instead of tenacity. Maybe that could be a good choice, because once you're in the final showdown, Zalbar is taunting, and if he's got a very high protection pool compared to health, so every time Malak drains him, he will be doing 35,000 damage to him. And the more protection you have on Zalbar, you know, he could easily tap 3 or maybe even 4 drains from Malak. That's why you want to have that focus on him. Now I do have Zeta on here, but I don't think it really makes a difference, so I don't think you need this one, but definitely in mission you will need Zeta. So in terms of the armor shred, that's what you gotta do. He's got an AoE, so whenever AoE is available from Zalbar, you will want to target Malak, so you get a stack of armor shred. Now you have to critically hit at least one enemy with this AoE for armor shred to land. Now I've seen stasis field being critical hit in my testing, but it's very rare. Whereas the droids you can very consistently critically hit, so we'll definitely want to make sure, keep an eye on the cooldowns of this ability. So that whenever it's ready to be used, that you have at least one droid enemy alive, so you can get that armor shred done. And then finally Basti, I modded her for offense as well, some speed that I could. Again, at gear 12 these guys are not doing a whole lot of damage, but just showing it again the mods. We got speed there, we got offense there. This could even be a 6-dot mod for more offense, I guess. Offense there, and then protection. So that was the overall strategy, because at gear 12 every little offense helps, and you know, modding for speed I found that was not really all that helpful. Now Basti, namely, she's very good for this ability here. She calls target to cease, dispels, and gives them a bunch of buffs. Most importantly, critical chance up on Zalbar is nice, just making sure he really critically hits these droids. Zalbar's calls to assist, mission assist, well, you know, you get the idea. And finally the battle meditation as well is nice. It gives some protection recovery there, some extra turn meter, and then also once all the stasis fields are destroyed, you will be able to counterattack whenever you do have battle meditation, a little bit helping out with the damage output. Okay, so these are the mods and mechanics that we will be utilizing in this battle. So now let's hop in and let me show you how to run this.
Well done, Revan. I see there is more of yourself in you than I expected. You are stronger than you ever were during your reign as the Dark Lord.
The light side is stronger than you know, Malak.
This time, our confrontation can only end in death, yours or mine. The victor will decide the fate of the galaxy.
Okay, so as explained in the beginning, we'll just have to put a couple of hits on the stasis field with critical damage immunity, just to make sure it's the lowest health, so that Malak will drain it when he drops below 50% health. So both Basti and Julie, I just like to keep calling Zalbar for an assist, so he can call Mission for an assist just to boost your damage. But then also both special abilities from Julie here will give protection up to Zalbar, just a little bit boost his survivability. And let's go ahead, drop an armor shred number 1. Okay, that's fine. And let's just keep going after the droid. So whenever I have strategic advantage, I just keep passing it between Julie and Basti. So then we keep reducing cooldowns on Julie, so he can keep using his special abilities. There we go. Let's give protection up to Zalbar. Finish off droid number 1. And let's go after droid number 2. Just gonna do a basic. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Let's call Zalbar for an assist. We get Mission for an assist. There we go. Mission doing some nice damage on these droids. Let's go ahead and take care of the other droid as well, just so we can keep reducing the stacks of Dark Rage over on Malak, just to keep him under control so he doesn't get to enrage too quickly. Alright, there we go. We just have to keep an eye out, obviously, on the cooldowns. On Zalbar's armor shred ability. There we go, one more turn. Perfect. So we have to make sure that we do have at least one droid alive when Zalbar gets his next turn. Let's hopefully Malak brings back the droids quickly, because sometimes it takes a while. There we go, perfect. Okay, come on Zalbar, get in here, buddy. There we go, let's get another armor shred down, perfect. And now with 2 armor shreds, let's just go ahead, knock Malak down below 50% health, so he gets critical damage immunity just a little bit. You know, we don't get feared as much. Then I will put a couple of hits on the tenacity stasis field, just to make sure that this one is the lowest health. So when we get Malak again below 50% health, he will drain tenacity up. Then we won't be able to critically hit him anymore. We won't be able to land damage over times on him. So basically, he won't really be landing fear on us much at all. Okay, we got a lot of junks. Usually I save the AoEs for when I need it, but you know what, we got a lot of junk on our guys, so let's go ahead and clean that up. Let's give protection up over on Zalbar, and we'll just keep hitting the droids. Don't really want to hit Malak if I don't need to, so I'm just gonna keep hitting stasis field here. Let's hopefully he will bring droids back in a moment now. Fine, let's go ahead and hit him. Okay, there we go, perfect. They got the droids back, and we can now keep going after the droids. So that's why it's a bit of an RNG here with these droids. Like, I couldn't find really exact information how summoning works. In description it basically just says he can summon droids whenever he wants to, basically. We go. We got 2 more turns to another armor shred. Luckily this time, see, he brought droids straight back, whereas the other time it took a couple of turns. Okay, let's go ahead, finish this droid off. Okay, go after the other droid. There we go, we got 1 more turn for another armor shred from Zalbar. So hopefully Malak decides to bring back more droids here. Okay, come on Malak, buddy. Where are your droids at? I really do not want to hit you. Let's go ahead and maybe put a couple of hits on the other ones. Here also, when you don't want to deal damage, Mission's got an ability that doesn't deal any damage, so you can use that just to bide your time until they bring back the droids. There we go. Okay, alright, yeah, come on Zalbar, get in here, buddy. No, not yet. How about now? There we go, drop another armor shred on here. Okay, let's go ahead now and bring Malak below 50% health, so he finally drains the other one now as well, so we can stop putting damage over times on him, so we stop his fear. Okay, let's go ahead. There we go. Not quite. Okay, yeah. Come on, that should do it. Come on, Revan, that's all you got. What you got for me? My grandma can hit harder than you. There we go. So Malak now drained the 2 to the right. Stasis. So Malak now drained both of these that we want him to drain. So now what we have to do is make sure that he doesn't drain the other two. Okay. Let's just go ahead and a little bit take care of the droids quickly, just to keep his dark rage stacks of dark rage down. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can drop another armor shred here. Alright, so Malak is quite low on health, so let's not hit him anymore while the other stasis fields are active. Let's go after the other droid now as well. They healed up, that's okay. We'll hit him back. Okay, let's give protection up to Zalbar. Alright, come on. There we go. You got you down. Let's go after the other droid. Call here Zalbar for an assist. Okay, now we can go after the other stasis fields as well. Make sure Malak does not get them. Just keep calling Zalbar for an assist. Come on, guys. You've got this. So at some point, kind of Malak just stops summoning the droids. So maybe this is the point where he does that. Let's go ahead and get rid of the taunt, so we can go back over to the stasis fields. We don't want to do AoEs at this point anymore because it may trigger Malak below 50% health, and he will then drain the stasis field, which we don't want that. Come on, one more hit. Okay, so at this point we can actually now counterattack, as you can see, once we get all the stasis fields down. So what I will do, let's go ahead and swap here with Jolie, and let's call Zalbar for assist. As you can see now, anytime you get now Malak below 50% health, drain life will reset and he will drain somebody and gets below 50% health. So the goal here is to get Malak below 50% health, and that your Revan gets a turn before Malak does, because this will allow you to increase his cooldown. But Malak is very fast, so this is not always the most straightforward thing. There we go, he got back unfortunately. So let's just go ahead, keep hitting him, and perfect, there we go. Mission got Malak below 50% health. However, my Jedi Knight Revan got a turn before Malak did, so we can go ahead, increase his cooldowns, so he won't be able to use the drain life straight away. And now hopefully we can get him low enough when he does get his drain up that he doesn't get back into the green. Let's go ahead here, get some assist on Jolie. And we'll just here call an assist on Zalbar. Alright, let's keep calling Zalbar for an assist so Mission can keep doing damage. Come on. One more hit, almost got him. And there you have it, guys. That's how you complete this. Again, a bit of RNG to get that sequence going, that you can increase cooldowns on Malak. But you know, I think after 4 or 5 attempts I was able to line it up. Alright, so what does Malak have to say? Impossible. I cannot be beaten. I am Dark Lord of the Sith. The power of the light will always be stronger than the dark side. I cannot help but wonder, Revan, if you had not led me down the dark path in the first place, what destiny would I have found? Hey buddy, this is all on you. This was your choice to go down that path. And even Revan, he did go down the dark path and he was able to redeem himself. So it's not too late for you, Malak. Oh, Revan is apologizing. How light side of him. I'm sorry I started you on this path, but you chose to continue down to it. Exactly what I was saying, right? I suppose you speak the truth. I must accept the responsibility for my fate. I wanted to be a master of the Sith and ruler of the galaxy. And in the end, as the darkness takes me, I am nothing. There we go, guys. That's how I got my 75 shards. For Malak, obviously that's only half of the journey done. The other half is getting the dark path tier done, but as you can see, I have to gear up my dark side units a little bit more so they meet the recommended power of the requirements of 17.5k GP. So I have to do a little bit more work on Canderous HK and stuff. probably get Darth to gear 12 as well before I attempt this. And I'll be back once I'm ready. Alright guys, hopefully this was useful and helpful, showing you how to complete the light path. A bit of RNG involved in this one, but as long as you get those armor shreds, those stasis fields, you give yourself a good chance to knock this guy down and then unlock the next stage of the journey. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next one, but until then, have fun, enjoy life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.